Hello and welcome to episode 21 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. I don't know how it's got to episode 21, but it has. So I am your host Naomi, and I come to you from Leeds in Yorkshire, where I live with my husband, my young son and our cat. The cat is upstairs sleeping today. She caught a bird last week, which I was not very happy about, but because she never used to, she just recently just started. I'm gonna put a little collar with a bell on it because it's, anyway, going off onto a bit of a tangent. So yes, welcome. My social media handles are Naomi Knits on Instagram and Big Bird on Ravelry. So yeah, a bit of a knee update. I've got 1.5 weeks to go with the brace, and then I can burn it. No, still going on. I've been keeping up with all my exercises and everything, and I don't wanna tempt fate, touch wood. But it's healing really well. The last time I had this operation, I calculated that it didn't feel like that long at the time, but I worked it out that I was actually on crutches for 7 weeks afterwards. And this time it was about 2.5 weeks. It's still sore when I do like the full range of movement on it, and when I go to do certain bends, and I can definitely feel that weakness. It kind of feels like because I literally wear the brace like 99% of the time, but there's the odd time where I might just do a little walk across the bedroom without the brace on, and it kind of feels very susceptible. You know, like when you've had like a bandaged finger for ages and you take it off and it just feels a little bit wrinkly and exposed. That's kind of how it kind of feels. I'm a bit like, it kind of feels like this is my stabiliser, but as I say, I'm really happy. I think a lot of it is I knew what was coming, and even when it locked before, I was determined to do as much walking and quad clenching and everything I could right up until the day of the operation, and then I've been keeping it up. So I'm hoping I've not lost as much muscle as I did last time. So there we go. So yeah, I'm doing all right, and yeah, just putting it on. I'm at the stage now where I feel a lot better in myself, and it's just about getting my stamina up. And I've been trying to get out and about every day to kind of get myself physically prepared for go back to work and all that kind of thing. And so I took a bus down to the station yesterday and got the train like 3 stops. I met a friend for lunch, train 3 stops back, and the bus back home, and was literally ready to fall asleep. So do you know what I mean? So that I know that I'm not ready yet, because I'm thinking that shouldn't cause me to, and it wasn't like as if it was like a carvery roast dinner for lunch. It was a salad. So, but as I say, this is all part of the recovery. So yeah. What have I done today? Done a little bit of tidying. You'll also notice my son actually helped. Well, he didn't help, he did it all. And I'd not been happy with those kind of baskets that I had, those like kind of straw bucket things, because I wanted to kind of see my stash on like display. And I found on Amazon like a little mini bookcase, and the measurements were just right. So I thought, oh, and Brandon's wanting to save up for some kind of computer thing, so he's looking for odd jobs around the house, and he valeted my car last week, and then he helped put that today. So yeah, I'm really happy. And so I've got, I'll point it up, this one here is obviously on the bags with projects that are work in progress, but more my hibernated ones, not ones that I use all the time. This one here, in the back, you can see there's another cone of navy. That's all the stuff for the gansey, and just all other things that I kind of caked ready. This one, bottom right, is some bits of DK. This one, oh sorry, the one there, all the gorgeous reds and oranges, that is where I've kind of got some jumper quantities or sweater quantities ready, just to kind of keep them all in one place and to remind me that I've got wool there, and not to, hopefully try not to keep my impulses at bay. It never works. So. And then the middle one is kind of my upcoming, where they've kind of got plans for them. So I've got a grey one there, so I can't reach, which my brother kind of picked out for some socks for Christmas, and just see that one there is 250-gram self-striping from Fab Funky Fibres that I want to make for myself. And yeah, and you'll see in the corner, I'll see if I can get, I'll get a better picture for the thumbnail. I found this I've got this massive glass jar, and it's like this. I say a jar, I think it's probably more a vase, but I don't really get flowers that often. So I've put it to good use. I've put all my minis in there. That looks quite nice. So there we are, and I just thought I can pin, I mean, it wasn't very expensive. I didn't want to kind of put drawing pins into the shelving units, but I can put some little drawing pins on the actual little mini bookcase on the shelving bit here. And if I've got like any finished objects to display, like a nice shot, I can do that. So there we go. I do want to sort out the camera, because I feel like I'm a bit too far away, but I can't, at the moment I'm sitting with my feet up on the footstool there. You can see me, well that's my good knee. Yeah. Anyway, should we get on with it? Before I do, I just also want to say, and I'll try not to blush, a huge thank you. I've had quite a little bit of a flurry of new subscribers just lately, like quite a large amount for me, so thank you and welcome to my little world, and thanks for joining us, and thank you so much to my existing viewers. So yeah, anyway, before I get blushing, what have I been up to? I'm going to save the Gansey updates till the end, because I'll end up going on to a bit of a tangent. So as I'm trying to get out and about a little bit more, do you know what, I've been where I live is like at the top of this quite big hill, and it's about 3/4 of a mile down to the train station, and I can get the train and all that fine. I've got like a season ticket, but it's that in between and everywhere else that luckily I didn't realise it, I've been using it quite a lot. We've got a really good bus service, like every 15 minutes, that kind of goes all the way around all the different rat runs and everything, so I've been relying on that. But yeah, I've been having a little bit of a little project on the go when I'm going out and about. So I'm taking these out because they are lined up for the next pair of socks, and obviously soon, hopefully in another week, I'll be going back to work and I'll be commuting on the train. Not the first couple of days, I think, but soon. Anyway, rabbiting on, I have a half a finished object. I finished this sock, so it's a really lovely, look at those speckles. This, oh sorry, my nails, stayed on my nails. I'm getting them done this afternoon. So here is, the main colour is Serene by Lockwood Fibres, and this contrast is called Hot Pink, or no, it's called Honeysuckle by Knit Global. And I just do a very standard increase each side. I do a figure of 8 cast on. I kind of do toe up, and I think these are on 2.5mm needles, and then I finish off with 2x2 rib, and do the extra, I think it's Jenny's extra stretchy bind off that I do as a cast off there. And this is 64 centimetres. So these are for a colleague I used to work with, that I just thought she might quite like a pair. She only just recently left, so I thought I want to give her something to remember me by. But anyway, so that's that one, and then I started the toe the day. So this is that's what I've got left. I'm hoping that's enough to finish it with. So yeah, so I'll be quite pleased with that, because that is 2 partial balls that I can just kind of use up. And then these are just kind of in the pipeline. They are a sock set. They look very messy. They've been in a drawer. Look at that. And that is, you're gonna laugh at the colourway. The colourway is called Oh My God, ERMAGOD, like oh my god, by Sable Yarns, and I think that's gonna work up as like a micro stripe with like the dark grey. I do like a micro stripe, and then I'll do the pink as the, but these are just going to be like my commuting knitting for, as I say, when I'm out and about, because it just fits in my bag. I also have a new cast on, which is something that I kind of wanted to sneak and get done for myself in time for the winter. And what I found was, with the gansey, because it's on such fine wool and fine needles, and very quite, not intense, but it can be quite, well, the bit where I am now is onto the pattern, but I find that if I just do nothing but that, after a few days, I can get a bit... So I kind of wanted something a bit of a thicker weight, a bit of a heavier weight, to get that instant gratification. But also this has been on my wish list for a while. So this is the Radiate Sweater by Joji Locatelli, and I'm using, so it's DK, and I'm just working on the yoke, and can you see like a magenta that's kind of creeping up? So the contrast ones that you start on, I'm actually using a gradient mini set, and I'm just going into the second one now. The magenta is meant to be like the contrast, or like the main body, which is, wow, isn't that lovely? It really is that nice in real life. It's almost has like a metallicness about it. Do you know what I mean? That kind of a shine. And although it's not like a huge contrast, I actually don't care because I really like it. If as the colours go darker, because they're going to go into like a purple and a blue, if it doesn't look right, I'll think and I'll have a plan B, but so far I think I actually really like this. The minis, the mini skeins, I'll show you some of those. This is these coming up, are from Third Vault Yarns, and being quite righteous, I bought these in April at the Woolly Good Festival in Edinburgh, with the plan, and I'm actually casting it on in the same year. And then also at the show, I got this from, I was going to say River Knits, it's not, Ripples Craft. And you know when you've kind of said to yourself, right, I've got everything now spent up, and then you just see something and you go, this was the wool. Because I've got, here it is here, it's never too far away. This is the jumper that I wear, the Athama sweater, and I've had so many compliments about the colour, like really suits me, and yeah, I love this jumper and the style, but I think I mentioned last time the yarn wasn't the greatest. It was like a commercial one, a decent one, a King Cole one, but it was quite vintagey, and it's just pilling and splitting, but hey ho. So yeah, that's one that I've started. It's not too, it's not like stockinette. Obviously there's a bit of ribbon and increasing and slipping stitches and things like that, but it's something to do like if I just can't even with anything. But going on to the grand finale, the gansey. Oh gosh, what's in, oh, it's the book that's in the bag, that's why. I have done a fair bit of work on this week, a real bit of work, really come on. And I have to be careful that I don't do the thing that I usually do and pull it off the needles. So I need to find, oh yeah, so can you see that little cheese? That cheese progress marker there, that is where I was up to a week ago, right? So I've done quite a lot. The hair in my mouth. So I've did all the calculations, which was knitting plain up to 37 centimetres, and then I did the garter ridge, and I don't know if you can see, not really. I'm on row 4 of the pattern, which is very exciting. You probably can't see it, sorry, it's the line. I'll probably just have to wait for it to get a little bit more established. But there we go, so I've got some extra stitch markers there. So it starts off with a little chunk of moss stitch. You can see the moss stitch at the beginning. Oh right, so going back a step, the last podcast was kind of like a little bit of a shout out to the person I'm making it for, to say what pattern that they wanted, because there was like a bit of a plan A or a plan B. So we've gone with the reason of the different plans is they wanted like the traditional yoke for south, on the south coast, but the Polpero design was just diamonds and what are they, chevrons. And sorry, the brain fog is still there, I'm afraid. So I thought, I kind of said to them, do you want me to do like for like on the Polpero, or do you want me to kind of put all the different motifs on to kind of give you, you know, that wow factor? And we've gone for the wow factor. So it is my own little design, and I can't really show it there, but I've got chevron in the middle, and it kind of mirrors as it goes out. I've got a chevron in the middle, got moss stitch diamonds either side, and then we've got the ladders to separate it, and then cable going down, and then before the outer cable I've done a really nice star kind of motif, and I'm going to alternate, so it's going to have stars at the bottom, and then after those, instead of just repeating, it's going to go the star and then the anchor and then the star and then the anchor. So I'm doing that. I did a cable swatch, which I never thought about this really, because usually when I follow a pattern, the designer's done all the workings out, but because of this one, I'm kind of using bits and bobs from all different sources. The book, which I've been taking a lot of different guidance from, is this one here. Beth Brown Reinsel, knitting ganseys, and it's really, you can see all my little references, really good book. And there was I say an article, because there's just lots of different sections, and there's like a little section about when you're doing like a lot of plain work and then you're adding in cables, what it does is it makes the work contract, and then later on, so your work will kind of, you know, almost like pucker or pull. So they say work out the tension and to see if you need to increase at the foot of the cable. So I did, I forgot, it's in here. If you can call this a swatch. So you can hopefully see there that I did one cable, and then that is just plain, so it's the same 6 stitches. and I measured it across and realised that I needed to increase 2 stitches at the foot of each cable. There is 4 cables on the sweater, so it was 8 stitches. And then I did have a little bit of a moment where I thought, oh God, I've already plotted all this out. But I thought it's okay, because what I did for the buffer at the edging, and what you find on a lot of them, is just moss stitch. So I just kind of, when I was doing the increase in whatever overflow, I just kind of put in the moss stitch. And there's about 17 stitches either side, so it's not like taking over the show. So yeah, it took me, I think it took me about an hour to do 4 rows, but I mean, I was very like, check it. I'm not one for stitch markers. I don't know if it's a sensory thing. I just like I don't like the big dangly ones. I think they're really pretty to look at, but they annoy me when I'm working with them. So I tend to just like just the little ring ones, but you can't really feel them. And so I don't really like having too many. So I've just put them at the start of the row and at the halfway points, because soon I'll be splitting for the back and the front. And then also I did a little one where it marks the dividing after the moss stitch, because I feel like all the other bits I'm kind of seeing them as columns, and as the pattern progresses I get quite good at remembering things. I think the only one that I won't be able to remember the repeat on is the star, because it's quite see if I can find a picture for you. It's quite you can't there's no, oh sorry, it's called a starfish there. So you see what I mean? There's no like, I might struggle, I might still kind of reference that. But what I did was I looked at the height of that one, which I think was like 19 rows or something, and there's 3 anchors there, and I thought, oh, I like that anchor, but I needed something that was going to be the same height as that, so it all fits into the same repeat. So I'm going to do something with that. I don't really like where it's got the double line across, so I'm gonna use that one, but tweak it so it looks like it has the same head there and all the rest of it. Anyway, so that's that at the moment. The only thing that I didn't know for certain, but I think I've read enough of the schematics to you know, it's not going to be like, I'm not going to stuff it up, is you've got the garter ridge and then it goes into the pattern, and it kind of, at first I thought, oh, do I also start the sleeves at the same time? But on this one I believe the answer is no. I'll knit, I think, something about 5 centimetres, which I think will be about 1 repeat, and then I'll start the underarm gusset or gussets, and you start the bottom half, that V, still knitting in the round, and then once I've done that, that's when I kind of put the underarm gusset onto like some scrap yarn, and then I'll just work on just the back and then just the front. So there we go. The only thing that I've not took into consideration is I want the motif rows to finish nicely there and not like a half one. So hopefully it'll fit nicely and it'll be the length that I'm aiming for, because I'm also doing some shoulder straps. But if it comes to it and I've got like a couple of centimetres and I can't start another one, I might have a look to see what I can do for just that top little bit. I might just do like a little band of moss stitch or something. I'll have a little think. But I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. So we'll cross that bridge when I come to it. This is just how I work. I think because there's an awful lot to kind of think about the entire jumper, and as I say, I'm waffling. It is what I do. But I think that is it for me. I don't have any acquisitions this week. I've been quite good, well, apart from the little bookcase. I'm tired now. Not done anything. Well, a podcast. So yeah, budgeting wise, I can't remember if I mentioned this last week, but we've got a new deal, agreed a new deal on our mortgage, on our remortgage in December, which is depressing as anything. But draw a line under it. It is what it is. We've kind of locked in or put it on ice or had it done in principle, but we are also the rates are starting to come down, so we've got up until December. So if it comes down again, then hopefully I think we should be able to kind of amend it, apply for an amended one, or whatever the term is. So I feel a bit better now knowing where we stand with everything. Need to move the knee. So yeah, so that's kind of, it's made me look at budgeting for next year and getting my head out of the sand and all that kind of thing. So yes. So yeah, anyway, what are we today? 22nd of August. Is anybody going to Yarndale? I should be going on the Sunday. Drop me a message if you're going, let me know what day you're going on, and it'd be lovely to see you all and say hello. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoy, and yeah, I shall take these progression markers out, start them afresh, and I might record in better lighting next time, but hopefully there'll be more of a pattern established next time. Right, I shall speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.